So tell me about your second property. Your second property, if I remember correctly, it needed some work, correct?
No, my second property it was a townhouse in Woodbridge. I, what did I have to do to it? I don't think I had to do much to it. It was bigger.
Mhm.
So I had to furnish it. That was the biggest thing because my condo I had already had furnishing in it because I was living there. So
Mhm.
I left all that furnishing there and just rented it out, furnished. So my second property, the townhouse, because it was brand new and it was bigger, I had to furnish everything. So that was kind of a new thing for me to learn how to do that and learn where to find furniture, putting it together, making sure every room had what it needed, and getting utilities and everything set up. And but yeah, other than that, it was pretty consistent.
Cool. And how did you cash flow that second property?
So the second one, the second one was really good because so I initially rented out. I always do room by room because in Northern Virginia, that's how you get a lot of money, room by room. If I would have rented out by itself fully, I probably maybe would have broke even or maybe made a couple $100. But because I was doing room by room, I was able to um, get a lot more. So like I had 4 bedrooms, one was in the basement, and 3 was upstairs. And one of them I rented for I think 750, another one 650, another one 625, and maybe like 575 or 600.
Mhm.
When I initially closed on the house, I like on the day that I closed, I actually rented it to a company that had overseas worker. So they rented out the whole house. And I gave them a slight discount. But overall, currently with that, I make about 1,000-ish in profit now from that. Just straight profit after bills and everything else.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And do you remember how much money you had to put down to buy that property?
Yeah, so for that one, because I did straight up investment, I had to put 20% down.
Mhm.
So and the property was 310. Um, I think I had to come out of pocket total, including like closing and everything else. I want to say around 50, 60,000. Because of that 20% down that I had to put because I went in saying, hey, this is solely investment. So
That's cool. That's cool. But you used the cash flow that you made from the initial property plus
yes.
your income bumps to be able to comfortably put down that money.
Correct, correct. And if I remember correctly, I still had money in the bank. It wasn't like that 60,000 was all I had. I still had money because of not only just the cash flow from the house or the condo, but the write-off since I don't think I've had to pay the IRS anything ever, but having property also really was good write-offs for me. So I got refund checks every year and I always put them right in the bank. So
Yeah. And is that something that you calculated? Was that just an additional bonus? Because people typically don't think about, they think only about cash flow.
right.
For you, once you started to clip $100,000 or start to get to an income, now you're really concerned about how much money you pay in taxes.
Right. So initially, no, I didn't think about that at all. I heard that it could be good, but I didn't know what it meant until I actually was like, oh, I get this amount back. Like, and it helps because you get to write off more deductibles. Like before, I didn't have enough stuff to write off, so I had to file a certain way. But because I never really had a car payment, so I didn't have that to write off, and now I have the interest from the home and everything else. So, but yeah, initially, no, I wasn't thinking about what that could look like, but I knew it was a thing, and
Mhm.
it was definitely like a nice surprise. Like, oh, I get this. This is really, really something. You get hooked up for owning a place. So,
Yep, yep. How soon after the second property did you buy your third property?
so third property was in November of 21, because 22. Yeah, I think it was November 21. Dang. Yeah, so that's within a couple years. So, yes, so November of 2021 was my third property. Yeah.
It's pretty
I
impressive.
didn't realize it. I didn't realize it was so soon. Because in my head, after I know we're gonna get to the next property, but after my third property, I told my mom I was like, all right, every 2 years, my plan is to buy something and flip it. But I didn't realize I was that much on track. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And the funny thing is once you do the first one and you get past the second one and then you get to the third one, that's when
Right.
things start to happen quicker.
Yep.
Right? Because you're already used to it. You built that skin up. You understand the process. So it's like you're ramping up your knowledge base much quicker.
Right.
Question for you. Tell us about the process of buying that third home and how you cash flowed that property.
Yep. So the third home, again, I think oof, I probably had a new job or got promoted a couple times. So my income is way more than before. And I didn't even, number one, I didn't realize that I could get another mortgage. I'm like, I have two mortgages. Ain't no way I can get another one. And I think I might have talked to you or something, or maybe that was the second home, and you was like, Mike, you make a lot more now. You can get another mortgage. But anyways, I realized that. So, um, and then also another piece of that, in addition to making more money just at my job, is I refinanced my second home. And I didn't think much about it, but the interest rates were great. My mom was like, "You need to check into it." I'm like, "No, my interest is already great. Like, what are you talking about? My rate is already okay."